Man, when it rains, it pours. Starting off a new video here and another day on a friggin' angry note. I've been watching the forecast like a hawk. I mean, like bi-hourly. Every time I'm in front of a computer or a phone or what have you. And no rain was in the forecast for the last 2 days, and it's not supposed to be in the forecast for the next 3 days. Well, I'm downstairs watching a video, you know, checking out what's going on the web and all that good shit. Well, as I'm getting to come upstairs for a shower, I look out my front window and we're in the midst of a downpour. And I have everything exposed. Hey! Yeah, what a kick in the ass that was this morning. Needless to say, I got it all dried up. I don't think I'm any worse for wear at this point. I shop vacked it, wet dry vacked it. You know, I mean, there was a lot of fiberglass already into this material to begin with, you know, from tabbing and everything else. So, like I said, I saw the shower start. I got out here. I got everything dried up as fast as possible. Got my blue tarp over top of it. Wet dry vacked it with my wet dry vac extension, so to make sure everything was out of the cracks. And now I got my fan on it. I don't know what to think of today. Like I said, they're calling for just overcast and no rain, but yet they were saying that this morning. So who knows? But either way, here we are. We're going to continue on with this adventure whether it kills me or not. And in the meantime, I'll let that dry out for a couple hours, and we'll see how it works out. Crap like this is one of the reasons why I stopped doing boats. I just don't have the facilities. I mean, I actually have a garage for a change, which we didn't even have that before. I used to work underneath my deck, but it's not big enough for a boat. I mean, we thought we could actually empty everything out and get the Beesmeyer in there, which, yeah, it's not big enough for one of these Allmands. So one of the main reasons I just quit doing them. I just, without the right facilities, I just feel like I'm kind of working backwards sometimes. So let's get some work done today, whether we want to or not. You know, it's kind of funny as hell how much work has to go into getting one of these decks up, even though I would say 50% plus of it is completely rotten. I mean, the top layer comes off, but that layer won't come off, and you can't get underneath of the balsa to actually get it up without that layer getting either split. I've turned mine into a checkerboard, so hopefully that'll help it come off a little bit better, because I'm telling you, it's a real pain. Alright, I think I may have over panicked earlier this morning. That rain started just as I caught it, and it did come down hard and it did pool a little bit of water, but with all the tabbing and such I did yesterday and everything, there was a lot of fiberglass already on this balsa, and yeah, I'm thinking it's all nice and dried up. So I went ahead and I did my next layer, so to speak, because I have to get glass on it. It's kind of like the same way with the dashboard. You get glass on it and then you install the rib. The nice thing about it is the rib, it wasn't connected to the deck at all, so as rotten as the deck is, the rib is 100%. in perfect condition. It's not even damp. I mean, so I'm just gonna grind off the sides a little bit of the extra glass that I left when I cut it off. And when I get that layer in of glass on this deck, then I'll go ahead and I'll set that, and then we'll tab it in like it was and move on up to the point of the bow. I'm really hoping the next time around with this, taking this deck up is a little easier. It seems a little softer, but that didn't help down here any. Fingers are crossed. I'm also getting a little tight on poly, so I had Jack run up to the local Home Depot and buy a couple gallons of that stuff. Yeah, it works excellent for putting down boards. I mean, it takes half of the cabosil to thicken up, and I'm telling you, that stuff is already going off. I mean, you're not picking them boards up with a scraper right now. That's the problem though. It goes fast. It's great for repairs and it's great for like that. But if you're like tabbing, or you're doing a lot of tabbing, or if you're, you know, laying up, so to speak, you really want the layup poly that I get from US Composites, because it really gives you the time to work with that stuff. But if you're just filling a hole and you want it to go off in 5 minutes and then be able to put another layer on top of it and go off in 2 minutes because of the heat from the first one, then yeah, go to Home Depot. Not really playing any games this time. Had to seal it up anyway, but did everything. Now, I mean, honestly, it could probably get rained on. It probably wouldn't even hurt it. But I am going to put in my one layer of 1708 and try to get this one rib back before I really go any further. Man, I don't know what the deal was with that layer. I'm not in the sunlight or anything, and I could not get that crap to saturate up. Yeah, I wanted to say a few bad words. It's the same roll I've been using all along too, and I've done the same procedure, and it just would not take the resin like it should. So I had to fold it back, redo everything again, recoat everything, resaturate everything, re-roll everything. Yeah, it's not my greatest piece of glass, but oh well, it's under the deck. I don't think anybody's going to notice it after it's been painted anyway. I will hit, I got, in perfect honesty, I've got two little bubbles right over in here that I will knock off probably tomorrow after they kick off fully, because I am using the US composite resin, so it will take a little longer to kick off than, you know, the other stuff. So it is what it is. Getting ready to set my rib next. I tell you, having a rolling garage is pretty cool. Alright, it's late, we're here, and yeah, this is the final of the big projects, and it's kicking the crap out of us. Whoa. I did get our rib in. It's been tabbed in twice, probably a third time coming up here soon. I'm going to cover the front half. Even though I sealed everything. I mean, this has got enough fiberglass in it now, it's probably petrified. So that's not really an issue. And worst case scenario, the water will pool up in the back here, which has been tabbed, set, tabbed, set, tabbed, set, tabbed, set, tabbed, set, back, forth. So there's nothing that's going to get in there. I'd be more worried about the water getting in the holes in the front, which, you know, it's leaning back, so it shouldn't be a big issue either. As I said, I'm going to go ahead and cover up the front, and we will tackle this section tomorrow. The final frontier. Again, today we checked our trash. Besides the fiberglass, which came off the back, and the pieces that are laying throughout my grass, 29 pounds. So we're averaging, the last one I guess was what, 30, 31, somewhere around there, 29 here. Like I said, it's probably 30 pounds a block, you know, of just saturated balsa. Wow. It's another hot day. And you'd think I'd be looking forward to this. Well, you're awful dirty. Where Where you been in? Looks like you've been in the swamp. You alright? How you doing? Okay. Back to this. As I said, you would think I'd be looking forward to this, being it's the last compartment basically that has to be done. I'll be honest with you, if I came out here and pulled this tarp off and it was all finished underneath of it, I'd be 100% cool with that. I wouldn't even care about putting that final piece on, you know, that kind of thing. This has not been the most fun that I've had with this boat, that's for sure. A lot of things have been going really well. I mean, really well. We had to hold up with the gas tank for, you know, a couple weeks or whatever it was, but man, 10 days. But we actually had other things to do in that period, so it wasn't that bad of a hold up. I mean, this is priority one. This has to be done. And when it's done, then it has to be painted, and then it has to be flipped back over and put back on the boat. So, yeah, as much as I'd like to go play with other things today, this is it. The completion of it. Or at least I'm hoping that it'll be the completion of it. Alright, we got our layer off, and yeah, wasn't as bad as the other ones. It was pretty bad still, but wasn't as bad as the other ones. The only difference about this one was it had a distinct smell of burnt motor oil. I mean, I never smelt that even when I took apart the 59 Beesmeyer. I'm not really sure what happened with that. Maybe somebody got a little fun and dumped some oil down the hole. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's almost giving me a headache. It smells so bad, like old motor oil. But most of it's gone. I'm going to grind off what's left, and hopefully that smell goes away, because yeah, darn, I have no clue what it is though. Quack, 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 quack. That's what you're waiting on? God, I feel like Uber Eats sometimes. Is that what you want? Late night delivery. Go on. Watch. As soon as I turn around, yep, here they come. Alright, back to the boat. This is where we're at. We are done. A day late and a whole lot of dollars shorter. But yes, we are done. Everything's been glassed and tabbed and more tabbing, and then just for the hell of it, I even did some more tabbing. I doubled and tripled up here in front of the dashboard and put another couple tabs across here. That's like 5 layers, I think it is, something like that. I don't know. It's getting out of hand at this point, you know. Just keep doubling them up as I go. Chop strand all the way around the outside edge again, just to make sure that everything is making good contact. And yeah, I'm not even bothering covering this up tonight because there's no reason to. If it got wet, it would hold it like a water bowl. So that's it. We're done. Oh, and I almost forgot. 29 pounds of trash, minus the fiberglass, of course. And we are on 28. No, that's 27 right there. There's just a tiny bit left in the bottom of that, maybe half a quart. I'm holding on to it just in case of the layup, but we've got about the same amount of taken out of that can from Home Depot too, so definitely 26 are gone. That's number 27 there. Tomorrow's making it look pretty. As I said, I'm not even going to cover it up tonight. Let it off gas, let it do whatever it wants to do. If it does rain on it, like I said, it'll hold water like a water bowl now. So, not that I want it to rain, and they are not calling for rain, but there's no reason to tarp it. I mean, what's the point of that? It was just to keep water out from this edge anyway for the tarp. As I said, I didn't even care if it filled up the back half because it was already sealed up anyway. So at this point, it's all been sealed. Here we are. Yeah, I'm rambling. I'm tired. I'm gone. See ya. As you saw, we already got started on another day. We are painting today of some sorts. I'm not sure when we're going to put the top back on, the next day or so, but I really don't want to be crawling underneath of a deck and painting things that could have been easily exposed and easily done now with very little time involved. One thing I did notice is the number stands out real nice. There it is. We're not going to paint over that guy. Sadly, when my docking lights went in on my boat, the number was that far up there, and that's where they put it, right up in there, that it actually took out 2/3 of the numbers, so I just painted right over mine. But I do have pictures of it from back in the day. This one, yeah, we're just going to leave that out. I may tighten up the lines a little bit, you know, just leave the 1916 and the 272 exposed and tighten that up a little bit, but I'm definitely leaving those numbers out. Got a little green spot over there to grind or scratch or scrape off, but besides that, pretty much this is ready to go. And of course, the real thing is we're painting this guy today. I have a little bit of sanding to do, just some little, you know, rogue hairs, what have you, and then it'll be time to do some painting. There's something extremely satisfying about painting. I never even intended on doing the deck tonight. I just had extra, so I thought, you know, one coat won't hurt nothing. Even if it does have a little dirt in it here and there. The main goal is to get everything that would be a pain when the top is put back on. Today, about 2 gallons of Rust-Oleum. Yeah, I don't know, about 2.5 gallons. Did keep our number out nice and prominent and clean. But in the boxes, they've all been painted. Everything's been painted up underneath the deck, underneath it here, around the edges, and of course, the top also got a couple coats of my Rust-Oleum famous color. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard as a touch now. I mean, honestly. Yeah, and this has been a couple 3 hours. I mean, yeah, it's just gets harder from here, but I mean, it's great for bilge coats. I mean, it's cheap. It's so cheap. You just got to add the Valspar hardener, which again, Valspar got bought or something, so now it's another company. But you basically want a farm implement paint kind of thing, you know. I mean, it's just a hardener basically. I mean, you can find them. You can find it. You can find it. Just look. But as I said, here we are. Everything's painted on the outside, inside, or wherever side it's going to be that we won't be able to get to it. And I guess the next goal is to pick this thing up and put it on some trash cans so I can actually stick it back on top of the boat. But that's not tonight, little... Yeah, there you go. Hello. That's not tonight, little firefly. That's not tonight. Starting another day here, and it's a hot one. What do you think, little lady? That's what I thought. Whew. So I'm trying to get some loose ends tied up here. Maybe later on today, we'll get the guys to come over and move the boat top back over here. But for now, just got done a Home Depot run, and I'm fixing all my little wood slats and such along here, you know, little pieces that are missing. Only a couple of them, so it's not like it's a big deal. Glued in a couple other ones that are a little loose. Everything is fine. I am amazed for one coat here. That's one coat on that deck, and it looks that good. It looks darn good, considering what it's looked like for months here. So, yeah, we're moving along. Just doing it real slow because of the heat. And when I get that done, I'm going to come around and I'm going to knock all this caulking, old caulking and such off to the sides because we got brand new to go in place. Help out fit a little bit, clean up some edges, and I'm even going to go ahead and I'm going to sand this so I don't have to try to sand it when the top is on, because I'm going to have to sand this little piece right here. And yeah, that'd be a drag trying to get a box sand or anything in there. But if I knock this caulk off and then go ahead and just box sand this off real quick, you're done. You know, it's a 20-minute thing now in the heat, or it could be an hour's and a lot of busted up knuckles later on. So we'll be doing that today too. All right, alteration number one. We are moving the bow cleat. They have it all the way up here, which is only about 6 inches away from the front of the bow. And when mine was there, it was a nuisance beyond nuisance, because you would tie off an anchor and all the anchor line would do is ride back and forth, back and forth. And it's way too close to use chucks. So I mean, it was just the smartest thing to do was move it back here. And since I have to drill holes, I have to drill out my anchor light hole also, so I can get my 2x4 and my all thread in. Thought perfect time to go ahead and drill a new hole for it. So moving on, let's get this thing strapped up. Alright, well, at least it's on. It's not completely on. I mean, as I said, it's just kind of sitting here. We haven't done any of the sealing or anything like that. In fact, this lip isn't even over. So, yeah, we're just leaving it rigged up for the night. And tomorrow, I'll start sealing everything and putting screws in. Through screwing it. We're not going to do rivets this time. I don't have a rivet gun that big anyway, and they were about useless. They just pulled out, and the ones that didn't pull out were like friggin' just stuck in there and weren't doing anything. So through bolt it all the way through. But I'm done for the night. I'm tired and I got a huge mess. So see ya. Hopefully that'll be over. Oh, nice Donzie. Should have waited. Should have waited. I didn't lock the door. Dumbass. Down, 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 down. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I forgot about how the heat just destroys batteries in this thing. Let me try this again. The evil boat has come out. Nightmare Avenue by Scorpions is on. That's funny. Okay, here we go. Well, I never did do that, did I?